Namaste. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Okay, so today is a beginning. So our theme today is I just like to introduce the Japanese proverb. It's called Shoshin ni kaeru. Shoshin ni kaeru means return to the beginner's mind. So beginner's mind. So when we first started, we usually is quite excited and we are very keen and we are curious, right? And but when we get used to things, then we get kind of a bored or we don't pay attention, right? We are not so excited. So we are bring back to that beginner's mind. But I think Japanese proverb, it means don't forget the appreciation and humbleness and the gratitude when you first started. So we remember the appreciation and humbleness. When you know things, when you think you know things, you become kind of a proud and cannot listen to others too. But usually, like when you are younger or you don't know anything, you don't know what to expect. We are quite open, right? So that's in mind. We're gonna practice yoga today. So we are bringing the more keen awareness that some yoga poses that you probably know, and we did many times, but we are bringing the curiosity to our practice. Okay, in that, let's sit. So be comfortable. Sitting on a chair is option 2, and the cushions. And let's close our eyes. So I like to bring awareness today to the pelvic floor. So pelvic floor that I mention quite often, but it's a base of the spine, also core of our core. So let's close our eyes to notice your sits bone, right and left. So location of pelvic floor is between that sits bone and back of a pubic bone. And it's like a bustle under our spine, supporting at the very base, supporting our spine to vertically erect. So let's bring awareness that muscle and gathering energy to the midline, which we contract the muscle. Then gently pull it up. And as if we are sending the energy through the spine. On the back of the head and sending to the top of your head. Then at the very top of the head, as if that is a sunroof, we open that window to peek to the sky. Today is a cloudy sky. But let's see if we can see the sun. Let's exhale together and relax the pelvic floor. Then now our awareness is going down through the spine and to the pelvic floor and beyond. So wherever you are sitting, connecting to the earth. Then engage the pelvic floor again and put it up. And then let's inhale through the nose and lengthen the spine. And to the top of your head and looking over the head, looking up to the sky. And then exhale, relax the pelvic floor and send the energy down and to the earth. At the end of our exhalation, we engage the pelvic floor and squeeze and put it up. And then inhale, lengthen. Sending the energy to the top of your head and looking up to the sky. So that's imaginary eyes to look up. And then exhale, send the energy down and grounding. And then at the end of exhalation, engage and pull it up as if we are pulling the energy of the earth and we are sending up to the sky. And looking up to the sky as if we are seeing the sun. We are cultivating, collecting the sun energy and sending down through our spine and imagine to warm up our body. And at the end, engage the pelvic floor again, put it up, inhale. And continue doing this. The awareness moving up to the sky and grounding. And from the ground, reaching up. So this engagement of pelvic floor is called Mula Bandha, the root energy cultivation. And also we are bringing awareness to kind of connecting the pelvic floor to the top of your head. So basically it's a spine that we are bringing awareness to. So during the practice today, so that awareness of spine is very helpful, connecting the pelvic floor to the top of your head. So if we can align that in every pose, and some pose we don't align, maybe we round our back for some pose. But when we lengthening our spine, that pelvic floor to the top of your head, one line, that helps. All right, keep your eyes closed. So now we are moving to different pranayama, the breath work. So now we forcefully exhale through the nose using our abdominal strength. So very deep layer of the abdominal muscle called transversus abdominis. When you tuck our navel in or suck the belly in, we engage that muscle. So that is a very deep core muscle. So each exhalation, we push our navel in and exhale through the nose. So you may rest your palms on your belly or fist. Let's take a big inhale. And exhale, begin. Rhythmical breath. Exhale, exhale, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Yoga breath through the nose. And I like to practice this Kapalabhati during the winter time because we engage our ab to create heat. So whenever we engage the muscle, we can generate our own heat. Let's do second round. Inhale. Exhale, begin. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Your breath through the nose. And a Kapalabhati means shining scar. So my understanding is that we clear our mind and we are clearing our nervous system to bring the calmness, peaceful equanimity to our body mind. So if we can exhale and let it go with the exhalation, we can let go whatever the clutter we have in our mind. So we are letting go with exhalation. So any confusion, fears, and worries, just let it out. Let's do last one. Inhale. Exhale, begin. Out, 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 out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Straight our arms, and maybe reach our hands out and up. We are drawing a big circle around us. And then exhale, bring our palms together to heart center. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sending the energy up as you reach our hands to the sky. And then exhale, send the energy down through the spine as you bring our hands, palms together to heart center. Maybe bow your head to set your intention or dedication for today's practice. And slowly open our eyes. Let's lie down with the belt crossed by. So let's lie down and let's stretch our arms over the head. And point our toes. And then let's inhale, stretch. And lengthen. On our exhalation, open our mouth, let go. Bring our right knee to the chest. And a hug. And then left knee to the chest and a hug both knees. And just roll side to side gently. And maybe that's become the massage to the lower back or to the back. And then eventually come to happy baby, open our legs wide. And bend your knees. So your feet is the parallel to the ceiling. You don't need to grab the feet necessarily. And if you like, you may roll side to side. Notice the lower back really can rest. So winter series or this 2 months, I am going to kind of focus on physical part. So it's a muscle wise. We are going to protect our lower back by engaging the front and the back of our pelvis. So which means a glute. So that's a buttock muscle. Then hamstring, which is the back of the thigh. So that's a back muscle, right? Then front, ab, and also hip flexor. The hip flexor connecting our pelvis to the leg. And then also the quad, front of your thigh. So there are so many muscles in the thigh. But yeah, easy one is through the quad. Okay, so that's we're gonna work on. Then right foot, let's bring the belt to the right foot. Then bend your right knee out. So we can relax our shoulders to rest onto the ground, right? So that's why we are using our belt as an extension of our hand. The left leg goes up and point your toes and flex. Then maybe circle your ankles and bring some heat to the feet. So, feet doesn't have a big muscle, so it's hard to generate the heat. But bringing awareness to the toes and moving the different parts, that's so important. Okay, then push your heels out and gradually lower that left leg to the ground. And find a stretch. So here we go. We have a stretch to the hip flexor, front of your pelvis, and front of your thigh quad. So keep grounding our left leg. So maybe you are shifting the weight to the back a little bit in order to make your pose comfortable. And make sure to lengthen the lower back. Then inhale, stretch your right leg up. So now we are stretching the hamstring back of the leg. Then use the belt to bring your leg as much as you can bring towards your face. Then on our exhalation, bend your right knee. Then inhale, engage your heel. So pushing from the heel to stretch your leg, stretch your right leg. Okay, then exhale, relax that and bend your knee. Maybe your thigh come towards your belly. And then one more time, inhale, stretch your right leg. Okay, and then bend your right knee, please. Then move your right knee out. So we externally rotate your leg from the hip joint. Then now we are straighten your right leg out. So now we feel the stretch to the inner leg. So open your right leg out. Then we're gonna bend your knee. Then inhale. From the heel, we push the right heel outward. Then feel the stretch to the inner leg, inner heel, maybe foot arch. And then exhale, bend your knee. So now we're going to bring the right knee to the center and to the other side, the left. So either left hand hold the belt, or if you like, you can catch the outer edge of the right foot. So either way. Then gradually straighten your right leg to the left side. So you can use the belt, and you can go either halfway, keep your right knee bent, or straight. Then maybe right hand goes outside to the right side and twist. And feel the openness to the outer leg this time and the glute. Okay, that's good. Now come back to center. We're gonna switch the belt to the left foot. So the belt location is the ball of the foot. So that's where we want to really engage when we walk or straighten the leg. Okay. And then right leg up and point your toes and make a circle and move the ankles and toes, just activating however you like to feel the, different parts of the foot, right foot. Then push your right heel out and gradually lower down. Then find the openness to the right quad, right hip flexor. It's called psoas. Then find the openness to the front of your right hip joint. Now straight your left leg. Make sure your neck and shoulders are resting on the ground, head. And then exhale, bend your left knee to, belly towards your thigh. Thigh towards your belly. Inhale, push your heel. From the heel, we are straightening your leg. So feel the Achilles tendon, calf, and hamstring back of your knee. And then exhale, bend your knee. Just a few more rounds. Inhale, stretch. And then exhale, bend your knee. Excellent. So now we are moving the left knee out, externally rotate your left leg from the hip joint. And then inhale, push your heel out. So this time we stretch the inner leg. And then exhale, bend your left knee. And then inhale, stretch. One more time. And then exhale, bend your knee. Okay. So now we're gonna switch the belt to the right hand, or you can grab the outer edge of the left foot. So either way, and moving your left knee goes to the right side. Then stretch the leg, or maybe halfway. Then spread your left arm out onto the ground. And find the openness to the outer edge of our left body. So maybe feel the pinky side of the leg, the foot. And then the outer hip and the glute. Okay, then gradually bending your knee and back to center. We can let go the belt. And let's hug our knee to the chest and let's make a circle with the knee, but the opposite direction. Knee goes out, then join, then towards the chest, and then open. So make a circle, stirring the pot. Notice how your buttocks get nice massage and change the direction of the circle. We are opening our hip. And also releasing attention to the glute and buttock. Okay, when you have enough, roll back and forth or roll onto the side to sit. So if you do choose to roll back and forth, do a few times. So cold morning, maybe tight lower back. So be gentle to yourself. Then 3, 2, and come to the seat and bring our hands forward. Let's come onto the knee, tabletop. So if you like to use something under your knees, you are welcome to. And I have a sensitive knee, so I am using the towel. Okay, so come onto the tabletop. So now we're gonna do the cat and cow, which is we are tilting the pelvis back and forth, inhale, looking up. So you are relaxing your ab, then hyperextending the lower back. Then do the other way. Exhale, round our back, looking to the navel. Also have a nice openness to the upper back or shoulder and back of the neck. And inhale, looking up. So we are tilting the pelvis back and forth. So those muscles that I mentioned, the glute and the hamstring and the hip flexor at the front and the quad, those are helps, also ab, helps to control this movement. So we regularly when we stand or walk, we don't want to exaggerate too much. We want to stabilize our pelvis to be neutral. So now let's bring it to the neutral. All right, so tuck your navel in. So if you can lengthen the back of the neck and remember the pelvic floor to the top of your head connection. So that's we're gonna engage that. Then stretch your right leg back, please, and the ball of the foot come down to the mat. We're gonna stretch the Achilles tendon, calf, and hamstring. So push your right heel back towards the floor. So maybe you are using the hands to push you back like a downward facing dog, but you can choose to like a more soften. If your palm or wrist is hurting and you can place your block under your palms, that helps too. And if you like to a little bit more challenge or more intense stretch, lift your left knee away from the ground. One more breath. And exhale, left knee come to the ground. Okay, then let's lift our right leg. Then maybe left hand forward to balance. Inhale, stretch. And exhale, bring our knee to the elbow. And stretch, inhale. Exhale, knee to the elbow. One more time, inhale. Exhale, knee to the elbow. And stretch. Then bring your left palm down. Then send our right knee forward and step between our hands. Okay, so let's bring our hands, interlace your fingers, and kind of a cupping to our thigh, but close to the knee. Then back of the foot is pointing. So let's bring awareness to the toes, right? So toe is pointing back. Then notice how your ankle, front top of the ankle stretches. And if you maybe move, just to see if as a possibility, moving the pelvis a little bit forward or maybe sinking forward. So moving the pelvis forward and finding the openness to the hip joint on left side. So lower as much as you can. but not too strenuous way. Okay, and then exhale. Let's pull our hips back to center. And then bring our hands to the ground. And then bring your right knee. Child pose. Child pose and last. And then I didn't bring my block yet forward. So when you have time, just bring the block in front of you, side to side, so to block. Then come to child pose. And then rise. Okay, so now we have a block. Then bring our right foot forward, kind of using a block. Okay, still we are pointing our left toes back. So I hope you can find the length. If this is too much, well, you can step back. But if you can bring awareness to the front of your leg, so that pointing the toes, then notice how we can open the front of your thigh. Then inhale, hands maybe reach up or hands stay onto the block. Then exhale, hands come onto the block and move the block a little bit the back and stretch your front leg. Then gradually lifting your right toe up. So it's like a dorsiflexion and pointing the toes up and heels to the ground. So that's how we can stretch the back of the leg, the hamstring, back of the knee, calf. And notice if you can point your big toe straight up. All right, then we're gonna continue one more time. Plant our right foot down, then moving our chest forward and looking up. So to see if you can move, slide the pelvis a little bit forward and feel the openness to the hip. So hands can stay onto the block or reach our hands to the sky, looking up. Then exhale, hands down onto the block and pull our hips, stretch your right leg. Maybe block come behind you so that you are kind of reaching the hands back and top of your head reaching forward. And toes, right toe lift up. Okay, excellent. Then plant our right foot down. Then bring the block on left side, left hand down, right hand to the sky. You may continue to point your left toe to the back and lower your left hip, or you may tuck your left toe under, lift your left knee off the ground. So now you notice if you're tucking your toes, that stretches the Achilles tendon and calf. All right, then move your left hand, so the right hand forward and down, so big circle. Then other way. All right, release. And let's bring our left knee to the ground and child pose or downward facing dog. So you choose which one you like to do. So more active in downward facing dog or child pose for last. All right, let's together a big inhale. I'm gonna exhale, open the mouth, let go. So if you are in a child pose, come up to downward facing dog. Let's together, big inhale. Open our mouth, exhale. Okay, let's bring our knee to the ground. So just I am suggesting this. So either regular way, or if your wrist or palm is hurting, then block under your palm. And then straight our left leg back. And then left ball of the foot really come down and pushing the heel to the back. All right. Then try to use the arm to lengthen our lower back, so don't relax the belly. So connecting the pelvic floor to the top of your head. And then if you like, you may lift your right knee off the ground, so it's more weight to your left leg. All right. Then exhale, release right knee down to the mat. Then left leg up and right hand forward. And let's stretch that. Inhale. And on our exhalation, bring our knee to the elbow, round our back. Then let's do a few more rounds if this is okay for you, or you can rest. Then each exhalation, we are gathering the energy to the midline, knee forward. And then inhale, stretch. And then exhale, bring our palms down to the mat, and left knee, send it forward and step between our hands. And interlace your fingers and cup your palms close to your left knee on your thigh. Then our right toe is pointing back. So either you may stay here, shoulder over the hip, right? Either stay here or move your pelvis forward. Then find the length to the front of your right thigh, if this is okay. One more breath. All right, exhale, release. So come back to center and let's use the block. So now moving our pelvis back and gradually lifting the toe, left toe up. So you may, block has a 3 different height, so as you need. So ideally, you may be comfortably lengthening the spine, putting our tailbone back and top of your head. It's kind of a diagonal but forward. Enable and lengthening. All right, exhale, plant our left foot to the ground and either hands on to the block. Make sure your knee toe goes same direction. Then feel the toes, right toe, stretch it to the back, then moving the pelvis forward. And if this is okay, hands reach to the sky. And stretching the front of the pelvis. Then exhale, hands to the ground and pull our hips back. And gradually lifting the toe, left toe up. And stretch the left hamstring and a calf, extend them. All right. And then plant our foot down. Okay, one more time. And hands reach to the sky. And sliding the pelvis forward. And then exhale, release our hands. So you can come kind of halfway. Then right hand to the block. Then left hand to the sky. You can keep your right toe straight back and open the chest. Or if you decide to tuck the right toe under, lifting the right knee, that's also option 2. And then move your left hand a big circle to open our shoulder. Still we are opening the right hip joint. Then change the direction of the circle. Okay, then let's gradually release that. Child pose or downward facing dog. And let's together a big inhale. Open our mouth, exhale. So if you are in a child pose, maybe gradually back to downward facing dog. Then let's do one more breath, inhale. And exhale, open our mouth, let go. Then let's walk our feet forward. Then we're going to come to bending forward, grab our elbows. And maybe swing side to side, soften your knees. You may also rest your hands onto the block. Okay, when you are ready, gradually we're going to lower ourselves to the stand. Excellent. And let's slowly walk forward to the front of the mat, please. It's called Samasthiti. We're going to stand the feet to the ground. Notice that all 10 toes grounding, and even the pinky toe is working to help to stand. and palms together to heart center. So we gonna bring the beginner's mind, curiosity to move, and with the breath. Slowly inhale, hands reach out and up. So it's more like a slow motion, and palms together at the top. If you are able to look up to a little bit of back bending. On our exhalation, bend your knees, bend forward. Maybe hands come onto the block or maybe to the leg. Inhale, top of your head reaching forward. So the pelvic floor to the top of your head, one line. And then exhale, bend your knees, hands come to the ground and maybe tabletop or plank pose. So you may rest your palms onto the block if you like. So if you are plank pose, connecting the heel to the top of your head. And then on our exhalation, bend your elbows and let's bring our belly to the ground. So onto the floor. And it's called Shalabhasana. We are lifting the chest and legs at the same time. So maybe hands spread wide to the side or hands point, if you don't have enough space, hands point back. Exhale fully, relax and resting onto the ground. On our inhalation, lift up, squeeze the glute and lift. And point your toes maybe. And reaching the hands back or side. And lengthening the neck, top of your head, reaching forward. One more breath, inhale, lift. Then exhale, let go, release. Then bend your knees, please, and move your feet right and left. So when you move your feet side to side, so you are massaging the front of your thigh to the ground. So enjoy that. Also relaxing the lower back and the glute. Okay, and then release. This time cobra. Legs together, pointing the toes and the feet to the ground. Interlace your fingers behind you. Exhale fully. And inhale, lift up. Pull our hands back and chest open. So this is another version of a back bending. And lift. And lift, legs stay down. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, let go. Relax. Then bring our palms under the shoulder. Let's to child pose. So child pose to release our lower back. Pull our hips back and sitting down towards your heel. So either heels come to the ground, it comes to the heel or halfway, it's up to you. Then spread your arms forward and maybe open our fingers wide. So elbow lift up. And notice how we can open the armpit, the inside of the arm and chest. All right, inhale, slowly rise up. Downward facing dog, hips high. And then walk our feet right and left. So here we go, our choice of being onto the wall. So if you decide to be, well, let's suggest what pose is coming. So maybe you can decide if you like to be on a wall. All right, inhale, right leg up. Then bend your right knee. Then inhale, right knee high. Then exhale, step between our hands. We're going to come to warrior two. So that's the pose. If we stay onto the wall, on the floor, just be there. But if you like to move to the warrior two pose on the wall, So I like to have, well, actually, I don't have a space to move the, but I may do move the mat along the wall. So my mat is going to be along the wall. So if you do so, if you like to have extra support and paying attention to the alignment, then move the mat like this along the wall. Then your right buttock is onto the wall. So your right foot may be not touching to the ground, but your right shoulder is touching to the wall. I don't know if you can see well. Okay, so make sure right knee right toe goes same direction. Smoothly inhale. All right. So on the mat, maybe you kept it quite a long time, and stretch your leg. Then release our hands. So next one is a Trikonasana, triangle pose. So keep the right buttock onto the ground, but maybe helpful to have a shorter stance. But let's see if you need to move the back foot, please do. So your right shoulder, then your left shoulder maybe onto the mat, onto the wall. Then we're gonna slide our shoulder on the wall, then reach our right hand towards the toe. Then keep reaching, then plant your left foot and left foot down and reach. Then when the torso doesn't go anymore, right hand, right leg, left hand to the sky. So left back of the hand touch to the wall. And keep lengthening. One more breath. If your ankle is too much, you can slightly bend your right knee. Then bend your right knee, then press the ass away and rise up to center. Excellent. Then bend your right knee, warrior two again. Then exhale, let's bring our hands to the ground, step back, table or plank or downward facing dog or child pose. That means 4 options. But if you like to go on to chaturanga, go ahead, plank to chaturanga. Then inhale, upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, so for me, I need to change the direction. So I need to face to the back of my mat. But if you are not using the wall, you don't need to change the direction. So I am changing to walk my hands and showing my back to you. Then left leg up. And then exhale, bend your left knee. Then let's bring our left foot forward between our hands, big stance. Then spin our right heel to the ground. We're gonna gradually rising up. So first of all, that when we, as a beginners, we always pay attention from the ground, your feet, how your feet is resting. So it's a warrior two pose. If you are on the wall, your left buttock is touching to the wall. That's a good support. And left shoulder as well. Yeah, wall is a cord for me. And then your left knee, left toe goes same direction. If you are in the room, make sure that kneecap and toes go same direction. It's so important to ground our back foot, especially outer edge of the foot, so pinky side of the foot. And feel the chest opening. So you can really rest your upper back to the wall. And if you can keep the head to the wall as well, then you know that your alignment is well. All right, one more breath. And inhale, stretch your leg and release our hands. So now we're gonna adjust the foot. So back foot, your right foot is going to come closer. And inhale, Trikonasana triangle pose, hands to the side and shoulders, both sides on the wall. On our exhalation, we're gonna reach our left hand forward. So your left toe, left hand goes same direction. Keep reaching and ground our right foot. So right foot and left hand is kind of a connect in a one line. Now when you cannot go to anymore, left hand, left leg, right hand to the sky. And keep reaching. You may soften your knees. So find the pelvic floor to the top of your head connection. So hold. Move the top of your head forward a little bit. Yes, very good. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna gradually coming up. Soften your front knee. Let's rise up. And warrior two. And then big circle with your right hand and bring the hands to the front of the mat. Let's step back. Downward facing dog, or you may come to tabletop and child pose or plank to chaturanga and upward facing dog. Okay. And then inhale, look forward. And then exhale, step between our hands. And then inhale, rise up. Hands reach out and up. Exhale, palms together to heart center. So be there if you didn't move the mat. But if you move the mat, then we still use the wall, or without the wall, we may need a belt and towel. So the shorter side of the mat coming to the wall. Okay. And if you are using a wall, face to the wall, and inhale, hands reach out and up. Exhale, swan dive down, bend forward. And inhale, half left. Then I exhale, actually, step back, plank pose or downward facing dog. Actually, what I wanted to do, if you are using a wall, so face back to the wall, then ground our heel towards the wall, heel between the wall and the floor. So if you are in the room, not using a wall, it really doesn't matter which side you are facing to. Okay, then inhale, right leg up. So if you're using a wall, right toe slide to the wall, then step between our hands. So right foot forward and left knee down. So here we go. We use the towel or blanket. Okay, it's all the time. Okay, it's a time. But let's see. Let's do only one things here. Wow, time flies. Sorry. Okay. So if you are on the ground, I mean on the yoga mat, not using a wall, maybe use the belt or without. So bend your right knee and deeper and move your pelvis forward. You may use the block side by side as well. Then bend your left knee and point your left toe up. And maybe catch with the belt or just a catch with the hand. So what I wanted to do, wall is very helpful here. And you are placing the top of the foot onto the wall. Then maybe go closer. So this is a great openness to the front of the quad and hip flexor. Yeah. And the block by my side. So basically this is the pose that I wanted to come to. Pointing the toes all along the wall. Then stretch the quad and hip flexor. But if not, and then maybe belt to catch, or maybe hands to catch. One more breath. And then release. Goodness, I did not have enough time. Okay, the other side, and coming to table or downward facing dog. So if you decide to be downward facing dog, lift your left toe up. Then exhale, step forward. Then bring your right knee to the ground. Then hands by your side. Then bend your left knee. Then left toe is going up through the wall or maybe catching a toe. So purpose here is to stretch the hip joint. But make sure we are aware of the ab to protect. Okay, and then release. And then let's gradually load on our yoga mat. Then have the belt and make a big loop. So gently hug our knees and gently roll side to side. Then plant our feet to the ground. Then drop the knee to the one side and twist. So before going to hammock pose, so I'm going hammock pose, but make sure your lower back is comfortable and release the lower back. Twist a few more times to lengthen the lower back. Then right foot and head. Then lie down. Then lengthen the spine, especially the cervical spine. So your leg is helping lift your head up. Then shoulder drop. So if you are not comfortable, if you have done for many times, you may probably notice. But if you are not comfortable that the kind of hanging on to the belt, that means that your belt is too long. So the belt is, really connect both sides, foot and head. It's a resist each other. So if we are resisting each other nicely, then you can really hang on here. And notice the length to the left down leg of hip flexor. All right, then gradually release the head and head to the ground and hold the belt. Or actually, we're gonna switch. So left foot goes into the belt, then right leg goes down, then head to the belt. Then lean to the belt. Your head should lean to the belt. Then your left leg is pushing slightly the belt up. Then maybe like leg is coming onto the ground or to floating. but you may find the length to the hip joint. Drop your arms by your side. Nice stretch to the hamstring. Nice openness to the front of your right thigh. Then gradually, we're gonna release our head and foot. And head relax onto the ground, hug our knee to the chest. And gently roll side to side. And you may cross your leg right over the left. And move your knee to the right side and twist. So if you want to have a more length to the lower back, your knee should move towards the chest more so you can stretch the lower back. And then we change, cross the left leg over the right, then move the knee to the left side. Twist. And then slowly come back to center and Shavasana. Lie down to the mat. Make sure you are not so cold. Warm yourself. Now use the breath and letting go the tension. Maybe we inhale and open our mouth and let it go. And drop our body onto the ground. It's a nice steady foundation. Feeling the gravity and resting in this moment. And I feel the heat, slight heat within our body, in the very core of our body. And I feel the cool air around the skin. And gradually bringing awareness to the fingers and toes. Invite small movements. And reach our hands over the head. Let us stretch from toes to fingertips. Take a big inhale together. Stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open our mouth. Exhale. Bring our knee to the chest. Give a nice hug to yourself. Thanks to your body and mind. And roll on to the side. And appreciate what we have today. And then gradually roll on to the seat. Eyes closed. And sitting in a first position, the seated position. with bright, keen awareness. The beginner's mind. We sit here, connecting the earth, the pelvic floor, and connecting the top of your head. Nice vertical line. Let's together inhale, hands reach to the sky. And exhale, bring our palms together to heart center. And may you and everyone see the goodness, happiness, peace within ourselves and everywhere. Thank you very much for letting me guide through your practice, sharing your time together. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. And if you have any question, let me know. Sorry, it's went a little bit over time.